So I used to love cooking with my mum in the kitchen. I would spend Saturday afternoons, the whole weekend would just fly by and we'd make so many dishes. It was great fun. My mother actually had a great talent for cooking. She would be instinctive with her food, and I think she cooked the best food I've ever had in my life. But occasionally, if she wanted to cook a really special recipe and she didn't know the ingredients and how to make it, she would go back to a very old recipe book of my grandmother's. She would open the pantry drawer and out would come this old ledger book. I wasn't allowed to touch it because it's just so fragile. But what she would do is she would look through until she found the right recipe and off she would go. Well, I'd like to show you this book because it's actually very old. It's dated back to 1844 and it was owned by my great grandmother Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina was 16 when she married my great-grandfather. She was Anglo-Portuguese and she had the foresight and the forethought to start her own recipe book. So this is it. I have to be very careful with it. As you can see, this is how fragile the pages are. But Wilhelmina's first recipe was almond, and that was it. Obviously over time the pages have fallen out and you can see various recipes. We've got some unusual ones. We've got Christmas pies, which I believe are mince pies. We've got lots of English puddings. My grandma Maud, she would actually love to research old English recipes for puddings. So she would do puddings for transparent pudding, Chester pudding. These were all the early versions of lemon meringue pie and bakewell tart. What's really fascinating though is the fact that Wilhelmina left the book for her daughter Ophelia, and Ophelia spent all of her lifetime writing in the book all of her favourite recipes too. And when Ophelia obviously was getting to a certain age, she passed it on to her Maud, who is my favourite grandma out of all of them, because Maud had exceptional vision and she loved baking. It's very clear that she really enjoyed cooking. From Maud, she passed it down to Grandma Irene, who was my grandmother, and eventually it came to my mother, and now it's with me. So there you are. I hope you enjoy looking at the recipes. They're all in a book that I've actually produced now. The recipes have all been converted to metric, which is quite a hard job. It's got some of the charming use of their words and phrases as well, so I haven't taken them out. They might say, you know, put in a nicely heated oven. And some of the measurement terms were words that I had never heard of, and it took me sometimes weeks, months to research them. So I hope you find the book really interesting. It's filled with family memoirs, stories from my parents of their days and their memories. It's got family snaps, but some very old sepia photographs. There's one of Wilhelmina and her husband Joseph, which is dated back to 1860. And it's filled with anecdotes as well. So I hope you get the chance to buy the book. The book's going to be published in November this year, and for further information please have a look at this website. Thank you.